So here we are in 2012, and now more than ever the future of this topic is very murky. There seems to be two issues on the piracy debate. On one side, individuals living in emerging economies who sell illegal content to generate income or purchase illegal content because it's affordable. And secondly, people who live in mature markets like us here in Australia who have access to large affordable hard drives, high-speed internet, and who possess the attitude of, if it's free, I'll take it. For an individual like myself who has lived in a mature market my whole life, I naively assumed that this issue would work itself out. Seeing companies like Apple fight hard against piracy to inevitably provide a better end-user experience for consumers than pirates ever could made me believe that other companies, even industries, would pioneer new technologies or a new way of life that would simply drown out piracy. There is no doubt that piracy is wrong and that it is against the law, but as Steve Jobs said, piracy is the biggest competitor. So quite frankly, I'm baffled. If more people bought Toyotas because they were more affordable than BMWs, BMW doesn't devise a way to have Toyota shut down and thrown in jail, nor do they even lower their prices. They make a better car, one worth the price you pay for it. And it's that competition that drives the companies to improve the products every year. In my own opinion, piracy has been the driving factor behind a lot of improvements in technology, design, and education. Without it, the world may not be a better place at all. Sadly, it's greed and capitalism that's driving Piper, Soper, and Actor. Music, film, and software industries don't care about the money they are losing because they aren't losing any. Since the year 2000, all of these industries have grown substantially. Movie studios have grown 35%, and TV networks like US giant Fox have grown 20%, despite the invention of TiVo, which has a feature to record TV shows without advertisements. The clear issue here is that these industries don't want to change anything. They have found a system that had worked, and they stuck to it. Even though films have moved from VHS to DVD and now Blu-ray, the physical medium itself has been something film studios have relied on for so very long. So what happens if it goes the way of music's physical medium? If the DVD market collapses as quickly as the CD market, Americans may one day face a $50 to $60 billion domestic movie industry rather than a $60 to $70 billion one. So now you can see how ridiculous this entire debate is. $10 billion is a lot of money to miss out on every year, but in the scale of total revenue, it's obvious the film industry won't suffer. Clearly the answer here is education. During the time I have spent researching this topic, I have read comments from countless supporters of Piper and Soper likening piracy to drugs and websites like Mega Upload to drug dealers. Well, if that's the case, why don't we educate our children at school about anti-piracy the same way we do about drugs? Luckily, when it comes to online piracy, we're able to educate our friends and families about legal substitutions. When it comes to films, go to a cinema. Seriously, get out of the house. Take a friend, a family member, and enjoy films the way they were supposed to be seen. Here in Brisbane, we have Cineplex cinemas that show new 2D movies for no more than $8.50 for an adult ticket. Or, if you go on a Tuesday, it'll only set you back $6.50. That's cheaper than most DVDs in a bargain bin at your local retailer. In the event you aren't sure about spending money at the cinema, listen to this guy, Mark Fennell. He's an online movie critic and is almost always right about the movies he reviews. If you'd rather wait till the movie has a DVD or Blu-ray release, I would just wait a little while longer before you shell out your hard-earned cash on physical media. With the national broadband network coming to Australia, this will open up new business opportunities for companies to stream high-definition films and television on demand without you leaving the house. Not to mention the effect it will have on the environment if you reduce the amount of DVDs and Blu-rays you purchase. This year, major steps have been taken with software developers to make programs such as Microsoft Office and the Adobe Creative Suite more affordable. Out of all the software in the world, the most illegally downloaded software on the internet is Adobe Photoshop. If you were to purchase Adobe Photoshop as a part of the Adobe Creative Suite, it would cost you 4,344 Australian dollars. Now, to anyone, that is a lot of money for something that you will end up upgrading every year for an additional $800. Now you can use the entire Adobe Creative Suite on a monthly contract for $63 a month. Microsoft Office 2013 will also be subscription-based, and if it's anything like pricing for their cloud-based service, Office 365, monthly subscriptions could be as low as $7.90 per month. On the topic of TV shows, I'm a firm believer that the television networks aren't allowed to tell me where I need to be and when so that I can watch quality programming. Networks need to do more to reduce the amount of pirating that happens. You see, the number one reason Australian consumers illegally download TV shows is demand. Australian TV networks need to reduce the time window from a show's overseas premiere. Personally, I'd like to see the major TV networks here in Australia create an online portal where Australian consumers can watch ad-supported TV shows that are premiered overseas. The ABC, on the other hand, have already implemented this with the UK show Doctor Who. ABC's online portal, iView, allows you to stream the newest episode of Doctor Who immediately after it airs in the UK, which is at around 5 AM on a Sunday morning Australian time. That's almost a full week before the ABC plays it on their own television network. Hopefully this will pave the way for more TV networks to do this with other overseas programming. Lastly, there is music, the original online stolen goods. Music has been ahead of the game for this reason. Between software, films, and TV shows, it was music which was first presented on a digital format with compact discs. It was also the first to be massively pirated online, the first to go through dark times regarding piracy, and now it seems to be the first to solve the piracy problem. The best platform out there right now for listening to music for free is Spotify. Spotify, like radio, is supported by ads in between songs. Unlike radio, you can choose exactly what you want to listen to from a library of millions of songs. And who do we have to thank for this? This guy, Sean Parker. Although Sean Parker did not invent Spotify, he did invest $15 million into the service and made it legitimate and free for users around the world. You could say he fixed the Napster piracy outbreak of 1999, which he should, quite frankly, because after all, Sean Parker invented Napster. In conclusion, for the last 15 years, people around the world and here in Australia have infringed copyrights with little to no consequences. Media outlets have tried very hard to reason with first world pirates by giving us free streaming music, affordable software, and cheaper movie tickets. Don't you think it might be about time to show up and play nice? The alternative is so much worse. As Australians, let's do our bit to play nice and get along with artists who create the things we love so much. It's not about giving back, it's about doing what's right.